Hello. Yes. So here in this video, we'll be looking at ellipse with a shifted center. It means the center is no longer 0, 0, but we have a center HK. So you can see the formulas have changed. Now the standard equation is x minus h and x squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared. And a is still bigger than what? Than B, right? That also applies for both the vertical and the horizontal ellipse. And here you can see the equation of the major axis. The major axis is going to be y is equals to k if you are dealing with horizontal ellipse, and it will be x is equals to h if you are dealing with a vertical ellipse. So just take note of this adjustment in the formulas. Okay. All right, so let's just use this to answer some. The eccentricity is still just the same way. Eccentricity is EC over A, which is between 0 and 1. All right, so let's look at this. Now, we said find the center, the vertices, the foci, and the point of minor, the end point of the minor axis, and the eccentricity of this ellipse. So the first thing we do, this is not yet in standard form, it's in a general form. Then we have to find a way to convert it to the standard form. And how can we do that? Just by completing the square. So here we just put the x's together. So you have 4x squared minus 8x, then plus 9y squared plus what? 36y. And we can transfer 4 to the other side so that we have minus 4. And now, before we can complete the square, the coefficient of x squared has to be 1. So it means we should factor out x squared so that we have this much. And here also we can factor out 9. So we have y squared plus 4y. It's equals to minus 4. Right, now to complete the square, we'll have 4 into, this is going to be x squared minus 2x, right? Minus 2x. We have to add 1 and we have to subtract 1. Okay, plus 9. Here also, this is y squared plus 4y. To complete the square, the half of the coefficient of y is 4. So the half of it is 2. So it will be 4y plus 4. Then we subtract 4. So it's going to be like we're adding nothing to it. So this we can rewrite as 4. These first 3 terms will give us x. It will be x minus 1 all squared. X minus 1 all squared minus 1 plus 9. This will just be y plus 2 all squared, but there is a minus 4 is equals to minus 4. Okay. Now this, we can write this as 4. Now we are taking the 4 inside, so you have x minus 1 squared. This is going to be minus 4 plus 9 into y plus 2 all squared minus what? 36 is equals to minus 4. And now we have 4x minus 1 squared plus 9 into y plus 2 squared. It's equals to minus 4. You transfer this here, it becomes plus 4. This also goes here, becomes plus 36. So clearly you can see that 36 will be left on the right-hand side because this will go with this one, right? So what do we need to do is we have this side. Let me create more space. So we're here. This will be 4 into x minus 1 squared plus 9 y plus 2 squared is equals to 36. So we can divide both sides by 36. So this will be this over 36 plus 9 y plus 2 squared over 36. This is equals to 1. And then we can divide here the numerator and denominator by 4, so that we have x minus 1 squared over, it's going to be over what? It's going to be over 9, right? Yes. And so this is going to be over 9. And this will be over 4. And this is equals to 1. Okay. Okay. So what is left now? We need to find what is. So if we look at this now, we can see something clearly. We can see that this, we can write this as what? We can write this as x minus 1 squared over 3 squared plus y plus 2 over what? 2 squared is equals to 1. So clearly you can see that a is equals to what? 3, b is equals to 2. Now, since the a is associated with what? With the x-axis, we can say that this is a what? Is a horizontal ellipse. Okay. Now, is a horizontal ellipse. We have h, we have k. We can find c. This means that c is just what? What is c? C, remember, is going to be a squared minus b squared in the root. And this is going to be 9 minus 4. So c is the root of what? Root of 5. All right. Okay. So let's just try to, we're coming down to look for everything, but let's see how can we do this without involving formulas, without memorizing formula that much. The first thing that is important here is we need to know the what? We need to know the center. So let's try to sketch it. Let's say we have something like this. Okay. Now, the center, as you can see, our center HK is nothing but what? HK. So let's write it here. HK is simply 1 and minus 2. So the point 1 and minus 2 is on which quadrant? It's going to be in the 4th quadrant. So let's go and locate 1 and minus 2. So this is 1 and minus 2 somewhere here. So this is our center. Okay. Yeah, so this is our center, 1 and minus 2. And remember, this is a horizontal ellipse. Now, since it's a horizontal ellipse, it means the major axis is going to be what? It's going to be horizontal. Yes? So our major axis is going to be on this same line, right? And we are told, remember, this is, forget, let me write it again. This is 1, and this is what's minus 2. This is 1 and minus 2. All right. So now how do we get our vertices? Remember, our vertices will be the end point of what? This is going to be our major axis, right? Okay. Now, what will be the end point? It's just going to be what? Because here we can see that y is what? Something is fixed. Y is not moving. So the only thing that is moving is what? Is x, right? So remember when we're dealing with ellipse centered as well at 0, if you remember, the vertices is usually what? Plus minus a and what? 0. You get it? But now in this case, we are not at 0, so we cannot say k cannot be 0. So, but our k here, it's what? It's minus 2, as you can see. So the only thing that changes is what? Is this one. But also you need to add your what? You need to add your h to it. So you need to add your h, which is what? Which is 1 to it. So it means that here, in other words, it used to be this one, right? But now if you add your h, which is your center, remember this is 1. So what is it going to be? It's just going to be minus a, which is 3, right? So because a is 3, so it means you have plus minus 3 plus 1, and then your value of k, which is simply minus 2. So it means you have to go to the right. If you go to the right, this point here is going to be 4 and what's and minus 2. So this is one of your vertex. And another of the vertex is going to be, you go back here, and that is when you take a to be minus 3. So it's going to be minus 2 and 2. So this point, minus 2 and 2. So this is our, let me say it again, this is our vertex. So you can call this one your V1, and you can call this your what? V2. These are the vertices, which are the endpoints of what? These are the endpoints of our major axis. Now, where will the minor axis be? The minor axis, remember, this is our center. So the minor axis is going to be a line that passes what? Vertically, right? It's going to be something like this. So let's see. It's going to be something that passes through the center. But now, how do we know what will be the length? So let's see. We know that what? It used to be what? It used to be 0. No, it used to be plus minus b and 0. Okay. But now, if you look at this one, this is a vertical line. So being a vertical line, what does that mean? It means that no, it used to be 0 because it used to be 0 plus minus b. Okay, because we are dealing with a horizontal ellipse. Now, since it's a vertical line, you see that what? The value of x is not 0, but the value of x is 1. So this is 1 already, right? But the value of y will be changing. So it could be, so it means that this point, all you need to do to get this point is 1 is fixed. Then what is our b? We know what is b already, right? So we know what is b. What is the value of b? B is what? B is 2, right? Yeah. B is 2. So it means we're going to have minus 2, but we're also adding the h, yes, which is our horizontal shift by the right. So all you need to do is you have 1 here, and here you have minus b. So this is just going to be minus 2 plus what? Plus 1. And that will give us what? What is our h? Sorry. Okay, our h is minus 2, not 1. So our h is minus 2. So the center is minus 2. So this is just going to be minus 2. So you have minus 4. So this point is going to be 1 and minus 4. And then the other one is when you take the 2. So you have b, which is 2. So you have 2 plus minus 2. So this is just going to be 1 and 0. So it means we will have this point here, these 2 points. Okay. So I think we're done. You can just see the graph coming out. This is your vertex and this is our endpoint. So it's just going to be something like this. This point, then you combine these two as well. Okay. So this is roughly how it's going to look like. Now we did not find the eccentricity, but we can always find that. But let's use the formulas to just bring out everything directly. The center, that is, you can do this before you try to plot it. The center is what? HK, which we know it's 1 and minus 2. And what is the vertices? The vertices is now minus A plus what? H, K, and what? A plus H plus what? K. Remember, it used to be what? This is a horizontal. For horizontal, it used to be what? It used to be plus minus A and what? 0. Now, this used to be the vertex because the vertex is on the horizontal axis. But now when you had H and K, so it will just be plus minus A plus H. Then you add K to 0, which is just become K. So this is why we have this formula. So it means this is when you take minus A and this is when you take plus A. So if you do that, we're going to have, remember our A, we have what A? A is what? 3, right? So you can see if you take A to be minus 3, so here you have minus 3 plus what? Plus H. And what is our H here? You can see that our H is given here to be minus 2. So this will be minus 2. All right, so our H is 1. So this will be 1 and K is minus 2. And then you do the same. This is going to be 3 plus 1 minus 2. So it means this is going to be minus 2, minus 2. And then what is the second one? The second one is just going to be 4 and minus 2. So these are the 2 vertices. Then we can find the foci now. What is the formula for the foci? It's going to be minus C plus H, K, and what? And C plus H and K. Now, this is already, we know what is C. So C is just going to be minus root 5 plus 1 minus 2. And what's root 5 plus 1 and what? Minus 2. And now we can find our eccentricity. And before we find eccentricity, let's look for what? Let's calculate. So we need to find the endpoints of the what? Of the minor axis. Okay, the system is. So for the endpoint of the minor axis now is going to be on the y-axis. So the changes will happen on the y-axis. So you have just h minus bk, and and h b plus k. Now, if you remember, if you're dealing with a horizontal, for horizontal, the minor is supposed to be where? The minor is supposed to be 0 and plus minus b, yes? That is when there is no shift. So what do? You just add h here and add k here. So it will become h plus minus b plus what? Plus k. And that is why we have these two formulas. So what is h? This will just be 1. And if you do minus b plus k, should give us minus 4. So what is minus b? If you remember, b is 2, right? So you have minus 2 plus 2. And here you have 1. And then you have minus 2 plus minus 2. Remember, k is here. So this is minus b. Okay. So minus b plus k. So k is minus 2. So this is the one that will be minus 4. So this is plus minus 2 here. So this is b is 2. Okay. So this will just give us 1 minus 4. And then 1 and what? 0. And another thing we can find is we can find what we call the equation of the minor axis. Okay. So equation of the minor axis. So the minor axis is going to be the y, right? So it's nothing but y is equals to k. And we know the value of k, it's minus 2. So equation of the major axis. The major axis is the what? Is the x-axis. So, but now it's just x because the center is not 0. So it's going to be x is equals to h. And that is x is equals to 1. So now what is the domain? We can talk about the domain and we can also talk about the range. The domain is going to be the values of x. This is the value of x. So how do we get that? I think the domain from the graph. You'll get that the domain is nothing but from minus 2 to 4. While the range, I think, is from minus 4 to 0. So let's just take you back again to the graph. So you can see from the graph, this is the domain. The domain is the x-axis, which is from -2 to 2, while the range is the green, is determined from -4 to this point here, which is 0. So this question says the center, we want to find the standard form of the equation of ellipse. So the center is given as what, 4. The center is given as 4 and -2. And then you have the minor axis, which is given as 10. That is the length. So it means that we can find B easily. So 2B is equals to 10. And then we can find this one easily. So the center which is usually HK, is given as 4 and -2. And the length of the major axis of the minor axis which is equals to 10. This implies that 2B is equals to 10. So it means that B is equals to 5. All right. And we're given that the foci is what? It's 4 minus 5 and what? 4 and 1. Now, this you can see that what is not changing, you see? What is not changing is the x-axis that is fixed. So it is the y-axis that is changing. So it means this should be a what? This should be a vertical. This one is changing, right? So this will be a vertical. It means the y is changing. So this definitely, it's a vertical ellipse. So it's a vertical ellipse, and you can easily write down the equation. It's a vertical ellipse. All right, so, and how do we know this one? You see this formula is going to be H here, and this is minus C plus K, and this is still H is fixed, and this is C plus what? Plus K. So what does that mean? It means that what? Your C plus K is nothing but equals to what? 1, right? But we know what is K already. This is K, so this is C minus 2 is equals to 1. And that means that our C is equals to what? 3. Because this is H and K, right? So this is, now we know what is C. Also, we know that what? We know that C squared is equals to A squared minus B squared. And that means that C squared is equals to 9, and this is equals to A squared minus B squared is going to be 25, because we have B from here. So we can find what is A squared. So A squared is just going to be 34. So it means that if we want to write the general equation in standard form, we have everything ready. Because the equation, remember, is going to be y minus k all squared over what? A squared plus x minus h squared over what? B squared is equals to 1. This will be the equation. Why? Because it's a vertical ellipse. Now, since it's a vertical ellipse, then the A has to be associated with what? With the y-axis. And we have what is k already. So k is given from the center, which is -2, right? So it's going to be now +2 because it's going to be minus -2, right? So it's just going to be y plus 2 squared over a squared, which is 34, then plus x minus h. I think what is h? H is 4, right? Yes, because this is the center. H is 4. So this will be -4 squared over b squared, which is 25. And this is equals to 1. All right. So this is our equation. Okay, so I think that is the end of this video. The next, we'll be looking at all the exams problems. So let's pause this. Thank you for watching.